Sometimes when you learn a trick, it's fun. It's interesting, like magic tricks. There was a commercial years ago for the TV magic tricks. This guy said, "Hi, I'm Marshall Brodeen, a professional magician. Most magic tricks are easy once you know the secret." And that always cracked me up because I thought, well, of course if you know the secret, yeah, they're easy if you because you know that the trick is it's obvious. Well, that's kind of what it is. And you see what this is. If you want to get into my world of news, if you want to get into my world, you got to understand something that if I sat there with you and saying, what does this look like for you? What does this look like? What is this? What is really going on here? What's happening? You'd probably say, well, no, look again. Just now, the first lady, I think, means well, but either this is they've conned the first family, or Trump is going to make a gazillion in some kind of deferred stock from OpenAI or I don't know. But they make AI to be this wonderful thing where we're going to go into the schools and teach kids, and it's wonderful, and the kids are going to love it. And are you kidding? Not one word about what AI means and the potential threat it has for kids. Not only that, when they're talking about now turning phones off in schools, kids won't be able to use phones. Is that a good idea? Well, there might be kind of a First Amendment issue there, but maybe not. It's almost like in a weird way they're being portrayed, or how do I say this? It's as though they're being presented as it's almost like a dress code. So in that respect, it's wonderful, it's terrific, and it's great. But I'm not necessarily buying any of that stuff. I'm not buying any of it. But they're big on cell phones, but they don't understand what AI is. And when the first lady and others said, this is going to be wonderful, it is an existential threat to the world. An existential threat. You understand this? Okay. Next, Wayne Holder. Wayne says, would they try to impeach Trump if he's on the Epstein list? Wayne, do me a favor. I love you, man. I love you, dude. Don't say Epstein list. What do you mean if he's on the Epstein list? There is no Epstein list. Ethel Kennedy is on the Epstein list. There is no list. There is no log. There's no black book, no documents. It is 100% shadow government, deep state, limited hangout bullshit. That's the term. It's imaginary. It's the unicorn. It's the MacGuffin. It's, I don't know what you want to call it. It's this thing that you're searching for. It's the little pen light that the cats are chasing. You think there's a list. We are tired. I think Gino says it best. We're tired of Epstein. There's no list. None. Why are they talking about this now with Trump? If there was anything, you don't think during the Biden administration they would have come up with something? There is no list. It doesn't exist. There's no half of I want to be very careful. I'm not going to tell you which ones, but I'll let you decide. There are many legitimate victims of this cabal that existed, and there are some who are absolute phonies beyond phonies. Now, before we continue further, I've got to talk to you about something. People are responding very, very greatly to disaster preparation. You know and I know that they are planning something. You know and I know. And I've talked to Dane Wigington. If you don't think that weather is weaponized, if you don't think either through HARP or Operation, was it Storm Fury and Popeye and oh my God, if you don't think that through geoengineering, these weird hurricanes that stop and turn, and if you don't think that an electromagnetic pulse, an EMP strike is possible, if you don't think that any of this is possible, there's no hope for you. That's why when it happens and people go berserk and stores close and water and bottled water and all, I mean, they're going to go nuts. We will kill each other in the event of some, God forbid, some kind of problem. When chaos hits, blackouts, strikes, fires, whatever, when there's blackouts, when Wi-Fi, if Wi-Fi is lost, could you go a week without real food? Not snacks, not banana chips and, and jerky, but life-sustaining calories and clean water? You couldn't go 3 days without this. One time somebody said to me, I've got a fishing pole, and you go to the creek, you and Andy and Opie? Is that what you're going to do? Well, I've got some, you've got what? You got stewed prunes and you got some tomato sauce and dried pasta? People always fight me on this. You would go bananas. And if you got kids, they're going to say, I can't take this. How about a 3-month food supply with 2,000 calories a day? Because at that point, you're talking about sustenance. 22 varieties of everything from vegan to God knows what, low salt, high salt, everything. With a shelf life of up to 25 years, packed in buckets that are 100% waterproof. And today, if you order right now, you go to preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. They'll throw you 4 extra weeks of food free, a $247 value. Don't gamble with hunger. You know they're going to pull something. You know what's going to happen because Trump is going to be triumphant and they are going to be fit to be tied because they're not going to be able to deal. Who knows? If there's another George Floyd, you don't think there's another George Floyd? They are ready to go. That was the beta test, my friend. That was the dress rehearsal. They are ready to go. So don't wait until it's too late. Preparewithlionel.com. And if you think this is fear porn, you haven't been paying attention. Okay? Now let's go through a few things. There is no anything involving Epstein lists of whatever it is. It is a complete and total joke. Ghislaine she's doing her time. She's got her billions stacked away. So she is set for life. Okay? And you also think these cases are easy. You think there's a list. Okay? You think there's a list. That there's Trump's name. Here's the list. You want to have a list? I'm surprised somebody doesn't go somewhere. Go to some WikiLeaks version of this and come up with their own list. What kind of list are you talking about? There's no list. What list? What? There's so many things happening right now. Ray says there's an Elon warning video. Well, check it out there, Ray boy. Thank you so much. You got this? Look at this one. This is a wonderful point here. Measles were eliminated in the U.S. in 2000. Today it's making a big comeback. Thanks to plunging child vaccination rates. In 2025, there have been confirmed measles cases in 42 states. Make America healthy again. You know what? Let me tell you something. We've got a friend of ours who's talking about whooping cough is back in droves. Now, let me explain something to you, and I'm glad you brought that up. If you think that vaccines are bad, you haven't been paying attention. If you think they just don't work, or you haven't been paying attention. If you think they've never done any good, you haven't been paying attention. That's like guns. It's the same argument with guns. We got to get rid of guns. No. Some guns are fine. Some guns, sounds like a Chinese food. Some gun food. Some guns are great. Some can hunt, target practice, save lives, self-defense. Others can knock over a liquor store. It's not the gun. It's what it is. But let me go back. There are so many phony victims, it's not even funny. You get the Gloria Allreds, the Lisa Blooms, and you get a camera. And look, tell me, who's ready for their close-up? I'm not mentioning any names. You tell me. You tell me. Look at the ones you believe in. This story it's mythical, it's fanciful. It was a case that really wasn't what you think it is. Really wasn't what you think. Let me ask you something. I'm going to come up with a scenario. By the way, this thing came, look at this. I bought a chair, like this office chair here. And this came with it to tighten, Can you imagine what you can do with this? This? It's not sharpened, but just this alone. Oh my God. This is a great, I don't know what these are called, but I never leave home without this thing. You know what you can do with this? Oh my God. This? Oof. Anyway. Let me give you two scenarios and you tell me. Lizzie Solak's in the house. Watch what you say. You know how she gets. Okay? That's all I'm going to tell you. Liz is a den mother. You know how she gets, Lizzie. I love you, doll. Mrs. L sends her best. Okay, couple of things. Number one, imagine this. You know that scene from Sound of Freedom? I got some problems with that show. But anyway, remember the scene where they open the door, and these kids are in this room, and they're chained and locked up, ready to be sent off in some container ship to China where they're going to be slave labored. Okay, that's one thing. That's wrong, right? Absolutely. That's wrong. Okay, you got that? That's it. That's child trafficking, predation, whatever you want to put it over here. Okay, let me give you a scenario. I come up with this one. Girls who are 16 or 17, real snooty, overprivileged types, they have this girl on a cheerleading team who this one girl recruits to be a prostitute, even though they're a minor, for some whatever it is. And the next thing you know, some get addicted or whatever it is. And the girls, upon hearing this, break down the door to want to be in this. They're taken advantage of. They clearly can't consent. It's wrong. But these girls they keep going back, and they have to turn them away. Sorry, go away. I understand. They're handing out Louis Vuitton bags, and they're handing out, oh my God, if you think, because we live in an OnlyFans world right now. Oh yeah. We live in an OnlyFans world where sell your body, commodify yourself. Doesn't matter how well. You think these OnlyFans girls are, what, they're all legit? Maybe they are. You don't think I can fake an ID? Stop it. You think people care about this? Of course not. Now, they're both wrong, right? Yeah. The first time, do you believe that Ghislaine Maxwell tracked these women down, drove around in a van, where the Epstein goes, there's one, pull up, open the side door, they grab her, throw a net on her, pull her in, drug her, take her away? You think so? You think Epstein did that? You think he brutalized people? I don't know. Do we know really what happened? What he did? I know it may have happened. I know. Listen, it's wrong. Remember, I'm not justifying this. What did he do? How many were there? Who did what? What's this list? If I said, okay, here's a list. It says Trump, and let me say this again to you. If there was a list, you don't think Biden or one of those people would have grabbed those? They would have subpoenaed these women and say, you're going to testify against Trump. I don't give a damn whether you like it or not. This is our chance to bury this guy, and you're going to testify. Do you understand? Do you understand? That's exactly what they would do. But nobody never heard about it. Until now, who are these women? Watch the press conference. Tell me who's the actress and who's not. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Look and see which one you believe in. Now, these kids are absolutely, positively, some of them looking for a better life, some of them not. You want to go after trafficking? Go after the modeling, maybe not now, but the modeling agencies of the 80s. Now oh dear God. Oh, some Ukrainian girl whose family sells her off to some modeling agency on cocaine, cigarettes, and coffee. Keeping your weight down. Heroin chic. Yeah. What? You think this was with Epstein? How many do you think there are? How many? They've led you to believe that this is some huge. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of these girls taken. They're no control. These girls, absolutely against their will, drugged up and Ghislaine is obviously the worst. She was the stalking horse. She was the den mother who lured them in. Understand this? This story took on, they don't even know what they're talking about. Is he on the list? What list? There's no list. Do you not know the names of people? What do you want? Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, Bill whatever. Trump said, whatever. Are you seriously thinking you're going to do what? Let's assume any of the Bills, Gates, but just pick the name. And I'm not making any allegations. But let's say Trump. Let's say so. You really think in Washington they're going to go after somebody who had underage sex with a minor? Are you kidding me? In Washington? Oh, they're going to say, are you sure about this? Everybody's got dirt on everybody. Between Palantir, between Mossad, CIA, NSA, and other agencies you've never heard of. Come on. Between Gates and between this one. Remember when they had Bill Gates? Oh, not Bill Gates. Matt Gates. Remember him? Remember that story? I don't know where that went. Even Cory Booker. Cory Booker all of a sudden. Cory Booker is getting married to his new boo who looks just like Rosario Dawson. This is bullshit. Stop this. This is a distraction. This is nonsense. We are in World War III. On the verge of it, on the verge of World War III. And what's the most amazing thing in the world is, as the stuff that really matters, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, and BRICS, it's a bit. Have you been reading what RT's been reporting? Of course not. Because that's dry. People love this stuff. Where's the list? Where's the list? What list are you talking about? I don't know. The list. I don't know. Where's the list? Why do you keep talking about the list? I don't know where the list is. I have no idea what you're talking about. What list? What list are you talking about? They keep saying this, and they don't even know why they're saying this. They don't understand why they're saying this. This is the most Now, here's the best one. I don't know how many times I've told you this, but I'll tell you again, and maybe it's interesting. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Maybe you find it interesting, maybe you don't. I don't know, but I'm going to do my best to try to make you understand. Pick up the phone and call Pam Bondi and say to Pam Bondi, listen, Pam, we need you to explain something to us. What's that? Pam, where are the files that you have as head of the Department of Justice? Get Kash Patel in here and say, Kash, forget the list. Do you have how many women did you talk to? We have right now in this case, let's just say hypothetically, 400 women we've talked to throughout our course. Okay. Of those 400, what have you talked to? We've talked to groundskeepers, maids. We've talked to, oh my God, we've talked to everybody you can imagine. Everybody you can imagine. Pilots, cooks, cleaners, real estate, at all the properties, the New Mexico property, the Paris property. Didn't they have a place off of near Bloomingdale, honey, where the girls were kept? In an apartment. What about them? You hear about that one? Oh, they love that. They could have left anytime they wanted to. Anytime they left. Does that bother you, ladies? Does that bother you? Or do you say, once a girl, and there was no indication these were infants. These were post. It's wrong. Don't get me wrong. But once somebody says, hey, this is ridiculous, I'm getting out of here. Or do you think they're just brainwashed to the point where they just can't leave? They can't leave because they've been. Elaine Maxwell says, you leave anytime you want. I got a list of people. And if you don't like, I don't like your attitude, you'll never know the list of people who were fired. Girls who were, you know what, you're a little bit too, but I don't need you right now. Even Epstein could smell trouble. Okay? Virginia Giuffre. Let me ask you something. Whatever happened to her? Anybody ask Pam Bondi? Anybody talk about it? No, you're talking about a list. It's like, did you go to a school and learn to just say this? We all just talk about the list. What's the list? I don't know. We just say it repeatedly over and over and over. Virginia Giuffre, sad case. You think she could have left? Could Virginia Giuffre have left, honey, do you think? I know it's a psychological thing. I know it's a psychological thing. You know, these women who are, it's weird sometimes. Every now and then there was a fellow who kidnapped these women. They were so terrified. He left during the day, and they could have left, and then somebody eventually one slipped out. Remember that family? The one who, that's a weird one, where the oldest sister, one of them couldn't speak. They never spoke. Anyway. If I'm a prosecutor, give me a case where somebody's chained. Give me a case where somebody's in the middle of nowhere in a remote location. Give me that one. I'll take that any day. Take that in a heartbeat. I can prove it. Don't give me one where somebody's on Lexington and 59th Street and I want to say, wait a minute, what? What? Yeah, in an apartment, come and go, meeting with other girls, who goes on shopping trips with Ghislaine, who's out there recruiting. I don't want that case. You can have that case. Yeah, but you don't understand. They're underprivileged. You can take that. I don't want that as a prosecutor. That's too much. I'm sorry. This case stinks. It's not what you think it is. It's the hardest case. And if you brought somebody, they say, where's that list? Okay. Here's Bill Gates. Again, I'm just saying hypothetically. Nobody cares about Bill Gates but they want to know about Trump. Was Trump on the list? Okay. Trump says, I'll talk to you. What do you want to know? Did you have underage? No. Well, she said she did. Okay. Do you know what I've been through? Everybody's told me everything. I had a total of what? 10? Racketeering in Georgia. That E. Jean Carroll lunatic got her. I got the case that was sort of reversed, with Letitia James. I got her. That was the lawsuit. Then I had the Stormy Daniels, which I still don't know. I had that one. Then I had other cases. I had 2 impeachments, a threatened emoluments clause, and you're going to go after me now with what? Okay, let's go to trial. I didn't do it. Now, you go to the right venue. You go to Manhattan, you go someplace like Portland, Oregon. I like with that E. Jean Carroll case. And again, I was not there. I don't know the facts of the case. I don't know. This was a different story because E. Jean Carroll called up the author of the Preppy book, whatever her name is, and said to her something to the effect of, this just happened, and there's some kind of corroboration. That's always poignant, always critical. when somebody calls you you have testimony, what happened? At the time she said this happened, I received a phone call from her and she said blank. Wow, that's good. As opposed to, well, we went to Bloom, went to Louis Vuitton, we got our bags, we did this, we going to. Were you ever starved? No. Did you ever? It's again, it's wrong. I live in a city where you want to go human trafficking? Let's go to nail salons. Want to go? Massage parlors. Want to go? You know? Remember that feller that owned the guy who owns the Patriots? Remember him? His case was dismissed, but where was he? Some kind of a massage or something. I can take you to places. I swear to God, they got these. I guess they're just manicure place, nail salons, and they've got pictures of all these Chinese girls. Please, I'm not trying to be racist. They're all black and white. They all look alike. Could be one picture. Could be one woman. All these. If somebody says, "Who's this?" Shin Lee Ho? Is it? Who's this? That's me. Present. Is this you? Yeah. Shin Lee Ho looks just like this picture of Chin what? Again, I'm not trying to make fun. They're all over the place. Nobody cares about that. You want to talk about trafficking? How about labor trafficking? Oh, no. You know how many women work in big gated communities who are illegals, who are working for nothing? I could take you to the West Side Highway, see women with babies on their backs in the middle of the street, the West Side Highway. So, please, what about that list? What about that list? Nobody's talking about that. No, this is Epstein, because we're trained like barking dogs to say, what about the list? Arr, arr. What about the list? What list? What are you talking about? Can you tell me why Pam Bondi hasn't said, I got the list? I've got every witness. I've got every interview there was. Somebody answer me. Why haven't we talked about that? Why haven't you? Why? 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 How come Ghislaine Maxwell got transferred? You think Ghislaine Maxwell is keeping her mouth shut to protect Trump? If she wasn't, I'll put it this way. If it was anybody else, I'd say, that's exactly what's going on. What I'm supposed to say with Trump, nah. No, he's a good guy. She was just doing really well with her behavior. So would you stop it? Would you stop that? Seriously. What she said, Trump was a gentleman. Okay. We may have a pardon coming up here. A pardon is like an unconditional. And the same thing goes for one of the reasons why, and I mentioned this morning about Alex Jones and Owen Schroyer. I don't know what Alex has going in his life, but he doesn't need somebody like Owen screwing things up by talking about Trump after Trump pardoned Owen Schroyer. Now look, again, I'm an outsider looking in. I'm telling you, I don't know anything about this. But sometimes I look at these cases, they just don't make sense at this level. At this level, doesn't make any sense. And today, hearing the First Lady, bless her heart, she doesn't know anything about AI. They don't know anything about this. They really, look, was that Linda McMahon I heard? Oh, Jesus. Linda McMahon on AI? You see, we fit into a world where we understand there's two sides. There's the good and there's the bad. How about a knife? Good and bad. Guns, good and bad. Steroids. Performance enhancement. Do they serve a purpose? Absolutely. Is fentanyl a good? You better believe it. So wonderful. Narcotics. It's done wonders for people. It's done some bad stuff too. Do you understand this? There's this. If you found out later on that somehow in some, I don't know, after the fact, maybe it goes to some Trump foundation. Can you imagine getting stock in, I don't know, OpenAI or whatever Google's going to be doing? You're not going to believe what AI does. You're not going to believe this. Forget Bitcoin, all this stuff. And then when quantum... How do I deal with people who they're talking about robots? They think it's a robot. They think it's this thing that beep, beep, beep. Like, one time I was in a ShopRite here in Jersey, and I turned down the hall. I hear that beep, beep, beep. And I look, and there's one of these not a robot, but these things going back and forth looking for, I don't know. I don't think it does anything. It just looks good. It just goes up and down, beep, beep. And it checks, to see if there's any, I don't know. They think this is what AI is. And I've tried as best as I could to explain this is what's going on. So it's a complete and total waste of time. So when I talk to people, I say, going back to Epstein, what do you want? Well, what if Trump's on that list? And they can never tell me what that means. I'm back to where I was. Well, what do you mean? His name is on a list. Where is the list? Who has a list? Well, there's a list. Who kept the list? You want to go to trial? Authenticate the list. What is this? I've been marked. This has been marked as government's exhibit number 1 for identification. I show it to opposing counsel for inspection and possible objection. What is this? This is the list. What's the list? This is the list of all the people who did terrible things with girls. Who compiled this list? Where does this list come from? Who has this list? I got a list too. What? I got a list. Yeah, here. It's a list of everything you've done wrong. Wait a minute. Where'd you get that list? I made it up. But it's a list. It's got you on here. Lindbergh baby, Judge Crater. Who let the dogs out? You let the dogs out. So right off the bat, let's authenticate. What list is this? Who did this? Well, this was compiled by FBI agents, okay? I can't cross-examine a list. I object to this. This is hearsay. Well, it was kept in the ordinary course of business. It might be a business records exception. But it's hearsay. What are you going to do? Introduce it? I don't know what this is. Authenticate it? I don't know. I can't introduce medical records just for the sake of medical records. I got to have somebody say, well, this is what somebody wrote, and it may help to document, but I need... Well, let's call this woman. Call her. When did this happen? What, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? When? Okay, let's go. Where is she? Can I talk to her? No. Why not? I have the Sixth Amendment right to confrontation. I get to confront my accusers. Sixth Amendment. Where is she? Well, we don't know. Oh, and by the way, for all of you folks with a list, let me give you this little one. You're going to love this. The next time something comes along, and let's say there's a problem with Cory Booker, Hunter Biden, anybody, somebody you don't like, maybe a lag or don't like, doesn't really matter. And the FBI says, we're going to be investigation. And you want me to be a part of this? Oh, no way. What? You're going to put my name on that list, aren't you? And then one day somebody's going to, Marjorie Taylor Greene. What the hell's Marjorie Taylor Greene? What does Congress have to do with the list? I don't understand. You can go to the Department of Transportation. Have them say, we help relieve. They had nothing to do with the list either. Since when does Congress have anything to do? I don't get it. Anyway. So what you do is you say, I'm not going to talk to you because you can't even grant me anonymity. Oh, no. Oh, by the way, this is my daughter too. She's a minor. I'm not going to ever talk to you. No way. They're not going to talk to you. No way. Why? Because you're going to release her name later on. It could be 5 years, 10 years. She could be happy. She could be with kids. She could be a grandmother. And then something comes up and there's a list or a log or a file or a document or something. I'm not going to let you talk to her. No way. Because you proved during that Epstein thing. And by the way, did you see these women who ask how many of you women here today settled? Did you settle with anybody yet? What are you doing here now? What are you doing? Are you kidding? There's cameras. This is my chance. This is my modeling career, my acting career, my podcast career, my whatever it is. You can tell how people are saying this is great. Not by victimization, but I'm going to come out and I'm going to do this. People will do anything for that camera. Look what they're doing to poor Bruce Willis. His family's like trotting him out. This poor guy is. I mean, talk about virtue signaling. So let me just remind you of a couple of things here. Very simply this. there is no Epstein list. There is no Epstein file. This thing is going nowhere. What are you being distracted from? You're being distracted from things that could actually affect things in the world. This is the part. I know this doesn't really do anything, but the SCO summit in 2025, unbelievable. China is saying we're the boss. What did they talk about? The left wing stupid media kept talking about how Xi Jinping and Putin were talking about living forever and maybe somehow, I guess, using harvested organs. They never said anything of the sort. Nothing like that. This is the best they can because these people are morons. The people that you deal with, the people who are on TV are morons. Cable news is the worst. The worst. It's so stupid. If I see that kid who had the hat taken away from him in the U.S. Open one more time, these are morons. These are jadrules. Their whole world is low-hanging fruit. And nobody dares say, where's the list? And I'm not talking to you about besmirching or libeling women who've been the victim of sexual abuse. I'm not doing that. I'm giving the reality of this. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a prosecutor and you got a case. And this one says, okay, well, first of all, the kid here, recanted, now changed his mind. Oh, by the way, this is the 20th. This is the 20th case of allegations. Now, you don't think that's relevant? You better believe it's relevant. You better believe it's relevant. Big time relevant. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but this is your victim. You want to go to court with this one? You want your list? Here, take your list. Go ahead with your list. Go ahead, take it. I don't know what you... List, logs, black book, flight logs, documents, files. When Pam Bondi, what was Pam Bondi talking about? I've got right now tens of those. These women, if you knew the horrible story, the horror. What's she talking about? I have no idea. So, my friends, be aware of this. Be aware. Do not fall prey to this. Do not fall prey to this. Use your head and be discriminatory. Just because somebody brings up a case, don't say, oh, it's a good case. I'm with it 100%. I got a lot of problems. Watch this press conference and look and see who's the leader and look who's already signed with. Oh, follow up on that Lisa Bloom and Gloria Allred. They're in there too. Everybody is. This is the typical, everybody, the vultures are coming. How much can I make out of this? What can I do? Listen, Virginia Giuffre, before she may well have been, did okay. Now, granted, her life was horrible, but she made a pretty penny. Okay? Which is the way it should be. And other people are saying this, like, ooh. Some might say, you know what, that was a long time ago. I've got a new life now. I don't want my kids to know. That was a long time ago. Others, by the way, what about the ones that, excuse me, I never happened to me at all. I was a masseuse. I was an honest-to-God masseuse. I swear to God. I know, I feel bad. You don't think there's any of those? Of course there are. Don't think there's any men in there involved? Do you think he was some kind of a pimp? Do you know that if I am a business agent, a media agent, if I'm giving you Super Bowl tickets, if I'm trying to put together, I know women left, right? I'm not me, but I'm saying, but I would say I know women. I can make them available to you. You've got to ask somebody, how naive are you? You really want to go through this? Do you really want to have everything opened up? And you honestly believe that in the world of Washington they're going to do this? No, stop it. So here's the problem, my friend. Use your head. Understand what's nonsense and what's not. Don't be so gullible. Understand. Yes, there's a kernel of truth. There might be more than a kernel of truth. But the problems with this case are through the roof. In conclusion, there are no files, nothing. It's over. We have wasted more time more distraction with this than the climate change. This is the biggest nothing burger anybody's ever seen. And we're talking about it. Why? Because there's cameras out there. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's there. Love her to death, but she's there. She doesn't show up where there's no cameras. I guarantee you there are so many great bills and things about kids or drugs or the environment. Nobody's there for that because there's no interest. Give me something with the name Epstein and I'm there in the front. Along with other girls trying to be the next Carol Merrill for Dancing with the Stars or whatever it is. You think I'm kidding? Am I being too brutal, you think? That's your opinion. I know reality. And when there's money and when there's fame, watch them come out of the woodwork. A lot of them, and some people say, look, I am a victim and I make some money too. Okay, fine. But you're smart enough to be able to sift through the mess. All right, my friends. Let me also thank you. Please follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. She is without peer. She has been better than ever. And one more time, as I've been telling you, if you are concerned with your family, making sure your larder is stocked, and we're not talking about banana chips and jerky. We're talking about serious food for serious times. And not only that, but I mean preparation for disaster. This is it. Preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. We'll see you later. Make sure you subscribe to Lionel Nation because I may just pop out of nowhere. And then that's it. Okay? Okay. Have a great day. Don't forget, Monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue you. That.